75 to 81% of women will pee themselves at some point in their adult life. Why is this not talked about more? This is huge. Huge. We need to be talking about this and not just saying, do freaking Kegels. That's not even the answer. So I'm bringing you a 3-part series where we're going to talk about signs and symptoms that you may be experiencing in other areas of your body that is directly correlated to your pelvic floor. Let's do this.
The goal here is to learn how to treat your mind and body like a professional athlete. Welcome to Mind Your Body. I'm Dr. Audra Lance. I'm a doctor of chiropractic who specializes in treating sports and non-surgical injuries, anything that involves muscles and joints. I treat big-name celebrities and professional athletes. Most of my patients refer to me as the witch doctor because they can't explain any other way their pain was removed that quickly. I hate cooking, but I do love wine and don't even think about giving me anything that involves ketchup because I will not eat it. Every episode of this show is designed to help you move better, live better, and feel better. Now let's go do this thing.
What up, my butthole breathers? How was your Thanksgiving? Was it wild and crazy with the family, or was it peaceful and quiet? Well, ours, we just moved like right before Thanksgiving. And as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to actually want to head over there to watch this episode because I want to show you the house right now. I want to show you the chair I'm sitting in. It's a camping chair, fold out because we don't have a couch or furniture. Our mattress, we did get a mattress. I was sleeping on an air mattress for a while. Yes. So this one I'm sitting in is actually like a fold out rocker chair. Like you can rock in it. It's pretty comfortable. And then I just have my sauna chair with the computer propped on it because we always show up and do the damn thing, even if it's not ideal conditions. And I know you've probably moved to and you understand what a shit show it is. Hopefully we're crossing our fingers. The couch comes this week. I mean, I'm really thankful for a couch. The little things in life that you don't even know. But like sitting in these chairs now for, it's been over a week and not having a couch, I didn't realize how much I took a couch for granted and how thankful I am to be getting one. That was like the first thing. I was like, we need a couch and a mattress. And then we can slowly over time fill it from there, right? So thank your couch. If you're sitting on that right now, thank your couch. If you never thought about that, be grateful when you get home tonight. Just lay on your couch. Another thing I want you to see on the YouTube TV are my new coffee mugs. Yes, I have them. Breathe into your butthole. And then we're repping the podcast, Mind Your Body, on them. And they're available in the store. So you can order them online and we can ship them, I think in Canada, but definitely in the US. So we'll link that in the show notes if you want one. All my butthole breathers. I love it. And I just wanted to take a second, since it is after Thanksgiving, to thank all you loyal listeners. If you're a new listener, thank you. The feedback and the comments and people saying they feel so heard or they didn't realize that. Oh my gosh. It just touches my soul in a way I never knew. I'm so appreciative. So thank you. Now, be honest with me. Have you peed yourself? And not when you're drunk. Like, I understand that happens to people. But like they leaked a little jumping or running, or like you might have mistaken it. We're going to get a little TMI right now. Are you ready? You might have mistaken some Gina juice and it was really pee, right? And you're like, oh shit, I thought that was just discharge. Listen, you're not alone. Not alone at all. It's just something that I think needs to be talked about more and more normalized. There is an epidemic out there of pelvic floor dysfunction. And half the people, we don't even know what our pelvic floor is, right? I mean, and you throw things around like, oh, and doctors, go to your doctor and you work up the courage to be like, this is really freaking embarrassing, leaking a little bit. And they go, do more Kegels. I just can't. That makes me want to drink. But we need to figure out what this pelvic floor is and how to actually deal with it, right? And so one of my gifts to you, and I extended the Black Friday sale through Cyber Monday week. I know week. We're calling Cyber Monday a week. So when you're listening to this, offer will still be available to join me with Restore Your Pelvic Floor. Really catchy name, huh? And it's going to be a virtual workshop with me, Dr. Audra. And it'll be on January 9th at 11 a.m. Central. And we're going to sit down and talk about your pelvic floor and actionable steps for you to help start fixing it yourself in 5 minutes a day from the comfort of, hopefully you have a couch, but you can also use the fold-out chair. You can do it in your car. You can do it at work. But something where you're like, okay, I got this. I can do this. And I have a grasp on what's even going on. And I don't do anything basic. Like I already got a plan. We're going to have some fun. So I hope to see you there. The special right now is only $139. I mean, that's wild. It's valued at like $1,500. I have studied this 4 years. I have around the world on all different techniques and applying all these different things to help heal. It's been one of my missions to help females. And I'm going to share that with you. And it's just so much more than basic stuff and basic things you hear, but we got to loop stuff together and have an understanding of, oh, wow, this makes sense. This is what's going on. Once again, the link will be in the show notes. Please register for Restore Your Pelvic Floor. We're going to hang out and have lots of fun. Today in the series, 3 symptoms you didn't know were connected to your pelvic floor. We're going to talk about one today. And this one, I didn't know which one to start with, but this one really shocks people. Do you experience GERD or acid reflux or nauseousness, or maybe you randomly puke and you're not pregnant? Yeah, that's connected to your pelvic floor function. And if your pelvic floor is not functioning correctly, you're more likely to experience this. Also, shout out to Hayward. He wanted to be a guest today. He's my 150-pound Borbell puppy. He likes to make an appearance on the show and see what mommy's doing. Once again, another reason to watch on YouTube. You never know. He's making out with the microphone right now. Let's get back to what is the typical thing out there when they're starting to experience acid reflux or GERD. Oh, just take some Tums. Take some Tums. Okay, fine. Once. Maybe when you're mixing that red wine with pizza. That's the only time I've really had GERD. Okay, so chemically you're noticing when I do these things or eat these things, I have this response. But let's dig deeper. Why are you having that response? Why is your body letting you do that? What's going on with the sphincter there? Why is your core not stabilizing for that sphincter to not open for you to experience those symptoms? The answer is the pelvic floor, the diaper of your core that needs to be activated. And the whole notion that it needs to be stronger. It's already strong, or you wouldn't be able to sit. You wouldn't be able to stand. Like, no. We need to learn actually how to relax it and correctly activate it, which I know is just a little bit of a mind fuck. But think about it like this. We need to restart your phone. Those are one of the 2 things that I think fixes a lot of things in life. Restarting your phone and doing your press-ups. So we need to restart your core, essentially. Let's just start all over. That's what we're going to do. Restore your pelvic floor. Let's start from the basics, because you're probably doing all these fancy ab workouts, and they're probably contributing to your pelvic floor dysfunction and making it worse, honestly, or your low back pain or your hip pains and your GERD. So we need to look at the whole body and look at what is the tone in your stomach. Are you holding all your emotions and trauma and everything else in your stomach? We all do. In the United States, everyone's so worried and it's so uncomfortable to touch someone's stomach. But that's where we need to be looking a lot of times, because there is so much information there. It's your core, it's your soul, it's everything. There's so many organs, there's so many tissues. There's so much just your tissue tension of your stomach can tell us. There's so much just by looking at your ribs that I can tell from you. If we're on this computer screen when I'm doing like the Elite Ledge Club, watching people, I just stand up and I'm like, I'm going to have you do some movements depending on what's going on. But even just standing up and looking at your rib cage, I know exactly where I want to go from there. It's pretty amazing. And where is that? Where your GERD is contributing or happening, whatever contributing. English is hard. So it's not only a chemical thing. And I think that's where our traditional medicine goes to of, oh, you have this imbalance of acid or whatever in your stomach, so you need to take these antacids, when actually we need to be looking at the whole picture. Yes, that is one component. We don't want to forget about that, but we need to be looking at how is your body functioning? How is your body stable? And if you have GERD, promise you, you're not stable. I know, sounds crazy. You might be the strongest, most ripped person But if you have GERD, your core is not stabilizing correctly. You're compensating in other areas. Let's go into a real life example of this with some patients of mine. I was treating the big time singer who tours all the time. So they're on stage in all different kinds of shoes that really are good for you, singing, performing, playing. And one of their main complaints, I originally was working with them for something else, but as we were going through, I was asking some of these other questions, and they're like, oh yeah, terrible acid reflux and GERD. I just thought it was from drinking wine. And I was like, well, do you drink wine every day? And they're like, no. So we dove deeper into it and did our full exam. Their ribs were flared. They weren't correctly using their core. They weren't even able to breathe down into their hips. Like everything was just breathing, which is actually kind of wild for a singer, because to be a really good singer, you have to use your diaphragm correctly to be able to hold those notes, hit the ranges you need to hit. And so we worked on this for a couple sessions, put it all together, the soft tissue, the stability. They did their homework because, this is their career, and they were sick of feeling pain and gross acid reflux and tasting their food every time they ate. Which, why is that we only get help when it's bad enough to cause us enough pain? That's fucked up. We should want to prevent some of this from happening, but we let ourselves get down in this hole where it's like, this is terrible. I've let this go on too long and I finally can't stand it enough. Then now I'm going to get help. It's way easier if you catch something in the beginning, not only for you, but for your doctor to address this before it gets so bad. It won't take as long to fix. So just a little tidbit. If you're struggling with anything, I don't care if it's a little stiffness, a little ache, a little discomfort, or full on pain. Like, if you get ahead of it or start getting help now, don't wait till it gets worse. And newsflash, it most likely magically won't go away. You might not feel it for a couple days, but then it's going to come back. Most things don't fully just resolve on their own. Get help. Like, make it easier on yourself. Feel better faster. So after a few sessions, I walked in and they were like, Audra, what did you do? And I was like, oh no, I must have messed this up bad. We're going to start at the beginning. And I was like, they're like, I haven't had GERD since the last visit, like before your last visit, treatment. And of course, I started jumping up and down and cheering like I do because I'm so pumped. Like, I'm pumped for them because they put in the effort. They showed up and we got this. Now, this is where 110% of you stop with treatment. You're like, well, I'm not feeling it. It's gone. That is not when you're fully fixed. You got there, you got out of pain, but there's usually that last 10% that I call return to play. We need to get you to return to play, whether you're an athlete, singer, mom, dad, daughter, dog, whatever. We need to get you to in that return to play section in the game of life. So we really need to work on that stability component, because even though the pain may be gone or what you're experiencing, that doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet. Like, we still got another quarter to play through, right? We actually need to bring it full circle and get it integrated into the global pattern. So your brain knows how to utilize this new pattern and utilize the correct muscles, tissue, breathing without going back into the compensatory patterns that cause you to have whatever issue in the first place. For this case, GERD. So I explained this to them and they're like, okay, well, I don't want coming back. So it's all on board. Next time I came back, Audra, what did you do? And again, I'm like peeing my pants because I'm nervous, right? Oh no. If the GERD's gone, did we just do something else wrong? They're like, I was on stage this weekend. My voice didn't blow out. Like, I'm usually a little raspy after my shows. Being up there for 90 minutes. I'm like, yeah, jumped up and down once again, cheering. We high-fived, hugged. I was like, this is huge. So not only are we getting rid of GERD, but we're also helping your career, helping you be able to hit those notes, sing those notes without putting that stress on your vocal cords and your neck and your jaw and your back. And this can apply to anything in life too. If we're more stable in our core and utilizing that correctly, so many other things can kind of self-correct themselves because you have these new correct patterns with you, if that makes sense. For instance, I had an NHL player have a little bit of a foot issue. And they were out for a while. And we were not just focusing on foot rehab. We're actually worried on his pelvic floor. Yes, guys have a pelvic floor too. And doing exercises to integrate from the pelvic floor down into his foot. And when he has been on the ice playing, like after that injury, he messaged me and was like, this is the best I've felt after a game. I'm not even sore. And it's just, when you get everything on board functioning correctly from a neurological level and a stress level where we affect your nervous system, I mean, you're going to feel good. Like, you're going to feel great. You're going to be able to notice differences not only in your pain, stiffness, and discomfort, but in all other areas of your life. Because it is not normal to not feel good. It is not normal to wake up and feel 80 years old. Even if you're 80 years old, like, something's going on and you need to dig deeper. And right now, if you're struggling with GERD, like, please join me and restore your pelvic floor. Let's talk about this. Let's dive into this and help yourself. Give yourself the gift this holiday season of putting yourself first and making yourself a priority. You only get one body. Like, you can't switch it out. So why not take care of it? It is not normal to pee yourself. It is not normal to have GERD. Please take that with you. Save this, share with a friend that might be struggling with GERD to help them out. Tap the 5 stars, leave a 5-star review so I know that you guys are liking this and want me to dig in even more going forward. But next week will be part 2 of the series of another sign and symptom that you may have not known is connected to your pelvic floor. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day in the game of life. Toodaloo.
Now, if you want to do something really special for me and got a lot out of this episode, go leave a 5-star written review of the show on Apple Podcast. And if you're a Spotify listener, just tap the 5 stars. To submit any of your health questions to the show, simply DM me on Instagram at Dr. Audra Lance. And don't worry, all your questions will be kept strictly anonymous. So send me all your embarrassing questions. And don't forget, breathe into your butthole. Toodaloo!